The world breathes a sigh of relief. The worst of the COVID-19 pandemic seems to be behind us. Masks are gone. Social distancing is a distant memory, but a question lingers in the back of our minds. Will it come back? And if it does, will it be even worse? The fear is understandable. COVID-19 brought the world to a standstill. It took lives, disrupted economies, and left a trail of uncertainty in its wake. The scars of the pandemic run deep. The virus itself is a shapeshifter. New variants emerge, each with the potential to be more contagious, more deadly. The Delta variant, the Omicron variant. Names that send shivers down our spines. We can't afford to be complacent. We need to understand the virus, its potential to return, and what we can do to protect ourselves. The future depends on it. The COVID-19 pandemic triggered a global economic earthquake. Businesses shuttered, supply chains broke down, millions of people lost their jobs. The economic aftershocks are still being felt today. The pandemic exposed the vulnerabilities of our interconnected global economy. When one country shut down, the ripple effects were felt around the world. The just-in-time inventory system designed to maximize efficiency proved fragile in the face of widespread disruption. Inflation soared as demand outstripped supply. Central banks around the world responded by raising interest rates, hoping to curb inflation but risking triggering a recession. The economic recovery has been uneven, with some countries bouncing back faster than others. The pandemic exacerbated existing inequalities. Low-wage workers, often in essential industries, bore the brunt of the economic fallout. Many were forced to choose between their health and their livelihoods. The economic impact of the pandemic raises deeper questions about the systems we've built. Are we too reliant on globalization? Have we prioritized efficiency over resilience? These are questions we need to grapple with as we rebuild our economies and prepare for future challenges. In the fog of uncertainty and fear, conspiracy theories thrive. The COVID-19 pandemic was no exception. Whispers of shadowy forces pulling the strings spread like wildfire on social media. Some claimed that the virus was a bioweapon, engineered in a lab. Others insisted that the pandemic was a hoax, orchestrated to control the population. Still others believed that the vaccines were more dangerous than the virus itself. These theories, often fueled by misinformation and disinformation, took root in fertile ground. People were scared, confused, and looking for answers. Conspiracy theories offered a seductive simplicity, a narrative that made sense of a chaotic world. The problem is, these theories are not harmless. They erode trust in science and institutions. They sow division and discord, and they can lead people to make decisions that harm themselves and others. It's essential to approach these theories with a critical eye, to ask questions, to demand evidence, to seek out reliable sources of information. Section 5. The Weaponization of Disease. One persistent conspiracy theory is that COVID-19 was created as a biological weapon. This theory suggests a plot by government labs to unleash a pandemic. While a lab leak can't be ruled out, the scientific consensus is that the virus likely originated in animals. Many diseases like HIV/AIDS, Ebola, and SARS also originated in animals. The WHO concluded COVID-19 likely originated in animals. However, the investigation faced challenges due to limited data from China. The bioweapon theory taps into fears about government overreach and misuse of science. It's crucial to ground our understanding in evidence-based science. Section 6. Debunking the Shadows. How do we combat misinformation and conspiracy theories? The answer lies in critical thinking, media literacy, and skepticism. Fact-checking organizations like PolitiFact, FactCheck.org, and Snopes play a crucial role. They verify claims and provide evidence-based analysis. Reputable news outlets are committed to accuracy and fairness. Social media platforms have partnered with fact-checkers to flag suspicious posts. It's up to us to be discerning and question what we see and hear. Section 7. The Power of Information. In a world saturated with information, it's more important than ever to be informed, not just about COVID-19, but about the world around us, about the challenges we face and the solutions that are being proposed. Knowledge is power. It empowers us to make informed decisions about our health, our well-being, and the future we want to create. It allows us to engage in meaningful conversations about complex issues, and it helps us to hold our leaders accountable. Staying informed doesn't mean spending hours every day glued to the news. It means being intentional about the information we consume, seeking out reliable sources, diversifying our media diet, and engaging in critical thinking. It also means being willing to change our minds when presented with new information. None of us has all the answers. We all have biases and blind spots. The more open we are to learning and growing, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges ahead. Section 8. The importance of preparation. While we can't predict the future, we can prepare for it. The COVID-19 pandemic taught us the importance of being prepared for the unexpected, of having a plan in place for ourselves, our families, and our communities. This includes having a plan for what to do if you or a loved one gets sick, knowing where to get tested, having access to healthcare, and having a support system in place. It also includes being prepared for potential disruptions to our daily lives, having a supply of essential items on hand such as food, water, and medications, knowing how to access information and resources in an emergency, and having a plan for how to connect with loved ones if separated. Preparedness is not about panicking. It's about being proactive. It's about taking steps to mitigate risks and build resilience. It's about empowering ourselves to face the unknown with courage and confidence. Section 9. Adapting to a new reality. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the world in profound ways. Some of these changes may be temporary, while others are likely to be permanent. We're entering a new reality, one that requires us to adapt and evolve. The way we work, learn, and interact with one another has been transformed. Remote work and online learning have become increasingly common. Virtual meetings and events have replaced many in-person gatherings. These changes have brought both challenges and opportunities. The pandemic has also forced us to confront systemic inequalities and injustices. The disproportionate impact of the virus on marginalized communities has exposed the deep-seated inequities in our healthcare systems, our economies, and our societies. As we move forward, we have a choice to make. We can try to return to the way things were before the pandemic, or we can seize this opportunity to build back better, to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Section 10. The future we choose. The future is not predetermined. It's something we create through our actions and choices. The COVID-19 pandemic has presented us with a unique opportunity to reimagine our world and build a better future for ourselves and generations to come. What kind of future do we want to create? One that prioritizes health and well-being for all, one that is more resilient in the face of global challenges, one that is more just and equitable for everyone? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are the questions we must ask ourselves if we want to create a future worthy of our children and grandchildren. The pandemic has shown us that we are all interconnected, that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for others around the world. It has also shown us that we are capable of great resilience, compassion, and innovation. Section 11. A call to action. The COVID-19 pandemic has been a wake-up call. It has reminded us of the fragility of life and the importance of coming together to face shared challenges. It has also shown us the power of human resilience and our capacity for hope and healing. As we move forward, let us carry with us the lessons we have learned. Let us prioritize health and well-being for all. Let us build more resilient communities and societies. And let us work together to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world for generations to come. Stay informed, stay engaged, and never lose hope. The future is ours to create.